G'day guys, welcome back to Reach Me or Teach Me. Back with Milton Jones, part 2 of his best one-liners. I did part 1 a couple of weeks ago. It was very well received. You guys said you definitely wanted part 2. So let's not muck around. Let's get into it. Milton Jones, best one-liners, part 2. Let's go.
And so which is music.
We don't know much about Galileo. He was a poor boy from a poor family.
That's so bad.
I live in a grade 2 listed building, which of course means that everyone in it has to be quite good at the piano.
Musical reference joke. That would have gone over a lot of people's heads.
Apparently all Chinese children who are learning to play the piano know a tune called Knife and Fork. I'd like to take the band ABBA out for lunch, and if I could, I would, my friend.
Oh.
For Nando's.
Oh, no. Oh,
When I was at school and it rained, we used to have to stay in for wet play. And when it was cold, we used to have to stay in and listen to this really dull band.
Coldplay.
79.
The Coldplay. Oh, fuck, he's got me in tears already. We're like a minute into the video. Oh, shit.
Julius Caesar receives the first ever weather forecast. Hail Caesar.
Oh, my God.
And
That's so
it's
bad.
Jobs. Milton.
Oh, far out.
Have you noticed that if you Google the phrase lost medieval servant boy, it says this page cannot be found?
Oh. It's so painful. It's so good.
Some of you are going to be doing that tomorrow. I think if I was opening a Pizza Express, I'd open it next to a Vision Express, so we got some of their customers by mistake. I think if I'd unlimited money, I'd hire 2 private investigators and get them to follow each other.
That's awesome.
Do you ever get that thing where you think someone's probably definitely wearing a wig, and you think to yourself, I'm sorry, Your Honour. I'm a bit of a lazy writer, according to my children, QWERTY and F12. Being a PE teacher, that's easy, isn't it? Shiny. I teach running. Run. I teach swimming. Swim. And a tiny, tiny little bit of geography. Jog.
Oh, that was a hell of a setup for a pretty bad joke, to be honest.
The topic is shopping.
Tricky, isn't it, when you go to buy a toaster, and at the end the shop assistant says, well, what about insurance? And you don't want to, but you end up taking a hostage. Recently, I bought the autobiography of Francesco Cello, the man who invented sellotape. But I couldn't find the beginning. So, lads, if you want to confuse a girl, best thing to do is buy her a pair of chocolate shoes. So I took my cases and my clothes to Tesco, because they say they help you pack your bags. Instead, everyone was just running around going, do you want some fruit and veg? Do you want some fruit and veg? Do you want some fruit? Turns out it was one of those hypermarkets. What else can I tell you about myself? I own a small zoo. and a pirate ship, although not at the same time. I didn't buy that much Lego. I mean, we think of pirates as being all smiley. It turns out they're actually all Somali.
And the topic is transport.
When I was at school, my bike was smashed up. It was my own fault, really. I just handed out leaflets saying, bullying, let's break the cycle. We've been over this again and again and again, said my driving instructor, pointing to the Badger. Apparently, there is actually a road in the north of England called Quality Street. And there's only one person living in it, and he's both Turkish and delightful. Tricky, isn't it, if you're both a moth and a sea captain? In charge of a ship. But up ahead, you see a lighthouse.
He's so random.
You know you shouldn't. Toilets in trains are rubbish, aren't they? Especially the one right at the front, and the bloke in there gets so cross.
The topic is safety. Away you go.
I'd like to say to the old man who was wearing camouflage and using crutches, who stole my wallet earlier, you can hide, but you can't run. Of course, these days, a lot of people are putting poison on the menu of restaurants in the hope that French people think it's fish.
I think that's a French joke, like language
My dad's
French.
answer to everything was
I don't get
alcohol. He didn't drink, he was just very bad at quizzes.
it. Damn. I didn't.
To everything was alcohol. He didn't drink, it's fish.
I missed that one.
My dad's answer to everything was alcohol. He didn't drink, he was just very bad at quizzes. I only have access to my son on Saturdays. Well, he fell under the floorboards of a synagogue. And I would like to see a world without plagiarism. You may say I'm a dreamer. But I'm not the only one. You see, my friends, if I had a crystal ball, I'd sit down very carefully. They say that putting mud on your face is good for your skin, but I saw a sign the other day that said sewage treatment works. Trust me, it doesn't.
And the topic is school.
So I went up to a fruit stall the other day, and behind it was my old maths teacher. He didn't recognise me, so can I help? I said, yeah. If apples are 75 pence... Do you know, he just looked at me and went... I thought, oh no, it was PE, wasn't it? Music teachers, they were rubbish. And they could only count to 4, and then they'd try and distract you with some music. Our woodwork teacher would always say, my door is always open. We'd say, still not fixed it. I went back to my old school the other day. It was weird being back there. The smell of varnish, the echo of the science room. Memory of the fire engines. Anyway, I was shown into the Phoenix Hall, which wasn't there in my day. My old maths teacher said to me, Jones, how did you do it? I said, I used that old formula, me times I can. He said, is that why you're dressed as a Mexican?
The topic is transport.
So I got here by train. For the whole journey, there was a child opposite screaming. I could even hear him through my wolf mask. But it was a quiet carriage and people were getting annoyed, so in the end, we both stopped howling. When a stewardess got on the train, she looked at me and said, "Do you mind if I do my makeup on the train?" I said, "Well, it's still going to look like a train, isn't it?" She put her hand out and said, "I'm Amber." I said, "Yes, I think you've overdone the makeup." Anyway, one thing led to another, and, well, I'm going to skip a bit now. I was sitting in traffic the other day, and I got run over.
And the topic is history.
Some things in history are good, some things are bad, some things are good, and then they get bad. Like my great-great-great-uncle was bored in the trenches during the war, so he invented the high-vis jacket. That was the last thing he did. People don't really understand evolution, do they? I was talking to an Australian the other day, and he thought that he came from Darwin. Recently, I wrote a book called All the Things I've Ever Done in My Entire Life, and I don't want to spoil it, but in the end, I write a book. So what's got two eyes and smokes? Pompeii. Too soon? My grandfather, he can't do what he used to, you know, bomb the Japanese. And it turns out you can't actually keep an artifact that you find with a metal detector if it's already in the British Museum.
And the topic is travel. There you go.
So I'm in Brazil, and I bought some fruit off some of the indigenous people, and they turned round and said, people who bought fruit on Amazon also bought these sausages. I don't know if you've ever fallen asleep while eating a plate of broccoli and woken up and thought you were in a forest. What's worse than that, though, is falling asleep in a forest and waking up and trying to finish the broccoli. The Paris Metro. That's the weirdest Tesco I've been in. Easter Island, that's a difficult place to find, but it's in a different place every year. The weirdest thing I ever saw, though, I was in Reading and I saw this hen party. Thanks, that doesn't normally work.
And the topic is Parenthood. Away you go, Milton.
I went back to my parents' house the other day, looked into my neighbour's garden where I used to steal apples as a toddler. They didn't mind me stealing apples, it was dressing up as a toddler they thought was weird. I come from a family of auctioneers. There's my mum, my dad, my Uncle Philip, Auntie Eileen, my dying grandfather, going. I said to my dad, I keep making mistakes. He said, you're talking to the wrong person. I said, oh, no, not again. He said, well, it wasn't as bad as that Uber driver I had the other day. He fell asleep. So Calvin Klein's mum has labelled everyone else's pants. When my daughter was born, she had jaundice, so there she was, small, round, and yellow. We called her Melanie. Apparently, I didn't even turn up to one of my own children's christenings, according to one of them, who shall remain nameless.
And the topic is shopping.
Those reward cards are rubbish, aren't they? Got too many points on one of them, and now I'm not allowed to drive.
Very good. Very good.
It's really important if you buy something, of course, to read all the instructions. I don't know if you've ever tried to fill a baboon with helium. Prit is not the best lip salve I've ever used. I couldn't complain. Southern Comfort tastes nice. Ordinary Comfort tastes like fabric softener. But at least your burps smell of summer meadows. When I was in America, I really got into the culture, so I went into a shop and the guy said, "Have a nice day," and I didn't, so I sued him.
The topic is communication.
Not a good day today. No one turned up to the first meeting of my sarcasm club, despite loads of people saying how much they were looking forward to it. Do you ever do that thing when you're on the phone?
You put it down.
No, you put it down.
No, you put it down.
Listen, you're a qualified vet and it's an old dog. Do you know, it was so cold the other day in the city of Chester, when I ordered a taxi, I ended up in Chichester. The only bright point of the journey was seeing a car going the other way with a seatbelt round a kebab. My wife and I, we argue sometimes.
You've left the lid up, you've left the lid up.
Yes, but what if it's a man, the next person to use the toilet?
It's a pedal bin, it's a pedal bin.
It was her birthday recently. I took her to an orchard in Somerset. We stood for about 20 minutes. Not the Apple Watch she wanted.
Thank you very much, Milton.
Oh, that's it. Oh, not as good as part one, unfortunately, but still, there was moments in there where I was lost. That started off with a hiss and a roar. Oh man, he's too funny. He is too damn funny. I see Gary Delaney there too. Apparently, I've been told that his wife is Sarah Millican, which I've also seen a bit of on a lot of the English comedy shows. So, if you think I should react to her, let me know down below. And if you've got a good link for her, let me know. Or if there's any other comedy that you think I would enjoy, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you like what you see, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.